In 1815, Jane Austen published Emma, a novel that would come to define her literary career and shift the landscape of fiction in profound ways. Although Austen herself famously said, "I am going to take a heroine whom no one but myself will much like," she knew she was embarking on something radical. But what makes Emma so revolutionary? Why does this particular story of a wealthy, privileged young woman meddling in the lives of others continue to captivate readers and influence modern storytelling? When Emma was first published, the typical heroine in novels was often virtuous, morally upright, and frequently victimized by her circumstances. Austen had already subverted this archetype with Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, but Emma went even further. At first glance, Emma Woodhouse is not a character meant for immediate admiration. She's spoiled, manipulative, and often oblivious to the feelings of others. Yet, despite her flaws, Austen masterfully crafts her into a character readers come to root for. Through Emma's self-delusion and eventual self-awareness, Austen provided a template for what we now call the anti-heroine complex characters, whose growth and development form the emotional core of the story. What Austen did with Emma was revolutionary. She created a heroine who wasn't just imperfect, but unlikable, a deeply human character. Her ability to weave empathy and depth into Emma's arc opened the door for more nuanced, morally ambiguous protagonists in literature. One of the hallmarks of Austen's novels is her psychological realism, but with Emma, she delves deeper into the mind of her protagonist than ever before. Austen doesn't just tell us what Emma is doing, she allows us to understand Emma's every thought and misjudgment in real time. This innovation of free, indirect discourse where the narrator slips seamlessly in and out of a character's thoughts was a groundbreaking narrative technique. Through this narrative style, Austen gives us intimate access to Emma's internal world, her mistakes, her vanity, her slow path to self-discovery. This interior focus shifted the novel's function from being about external plot events to being about character development. Austen's nuanced portrayal of the mind was a precursor to the psychological novels of the 19th and 20th centuries, influencing writers from George Eliot to Virginia Woolf. At first glance, Emma seems like a lighthearted comedy of manners, a story set in a small, insular English village, where the most pressing concerns revolve around matchmaking and social status. But beneath this seemingly trivial surface, Austen provides a sharp critique of class and privilege. The novel presents a world where everyone is constrained by their social position. Emma, as a wealthy and independent woman, feels entitled to manipulate the lives of those around her, while characters like Harriet and Miss Bates are trapped by their lack of status. Austen's ability to critique the rigid class structure of her time while maintaining a humorous tone was unique, and her social observations still resonate today. Emma's satire extends beyond its time, laying the groundwork for the modern novel of manners, which continues to explore societal hierarchies and personal identity. At its heart, Emma is a story about self-deception and personal growth. Throughout the novel, Emma consistently misinterprets the world around her, whether it's her misguided attempts at matchmaking or her blindness to her own feelings for Mr. Knightley.
You think of Mr. Knightley for yourself.
Harriet. I do not flatter myself with any idea of his attachment to me.
But as the novel progresses, Emma is forced to confront the gap between her perception and reality. This focus on self-realization is what gives the novel its emotional weight. Unlike the neat resolutions of many earlier novels, Emma doesn't end with the heroine simply falling in love. Instead, it ends with Emma's acknowledgement of her own shortcomings and her commitment to becoming a better person. Through Emma, Austen laid the foundation for the modern coming-of-age narrative, where the protagonist's internal development is as crucial as any external event. More than 200 years after, Emma continues to inspire and influence literature, film, and television. Whether it's the cluelessness of Cher Horowitz or the social anxieties of Bridget Jones, Emma Woodhouse's character has evolved across genres and mediums. The themes of social class, self-deception, and moral growth that Austen explored in Emma are timeless, resonating with new generations of readers and creators. Jane Austen didn't just write a novel about a matchmaker. She created a narrative that questioned societal norms, explored psychological depth in characters, and embraced the complexity of human nature. Emma changed fiction not by breaking away from tradition, but by pushing it to new heights. It paved the way for the development of the modern novel, setting a new standard for character complexity, social commentary, and psychological insight. In creating a flawed yet deeply relatable heroine, Austen dared to explore the messiness of human life. And in doing so, she changed literature forever.